Welcome to the DrNursePaul Show, hosted by Aspire RN and Dr. Paul. You are watching the USA Nurse Series. Dr. Nurse Paul is an NCLEX expert, having trained and mentored thousands of international nurses past the NCLEX RN for over a decade. He graduated with a Doctor of Nursing Practice in Texas Christian University. He is a registered nurse, an advanced practice registered nurse, and a certified family nurse practitioner. He also has completed a certificate for nurse educator postgraduate course. Aside from teaching, he has extensive clinical experience in emergency and family medicine. He has over 15 years of combined clinical and academic healthcare experience. Dr. Nurse Paul is an immigrant from the Philippines. He is currently based in Houston, Texas, where he operates his business, Dr. Nurse Paul, and Aspire RN NCLEX Prep. He loves to share his life story of how he overcame his challenges to reach his dreams. He is passionate in helping nurses realize the American dream. So without further ado, let's all welcome Dr. Nurse Paul.
Hello, everybody. Welcome. We are live with the Dr. Nurse Paul Show. And today we are doing the season 2 of the USA Nurse Series. This is our episode number 1 for this year. Today we're going to talk about living the American dream. And we're going to talk about the first 3 months in the United States. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. I'm so excited to be back online. And I'm currently hosting this show from the Philippines. I'm visiting the country for a couple of weeks. I haven't been back for 5 years, and I'm very excited to be back. It feels so good to be home. But anyway, thank you everybody who are watching us live today. If you guys can do me a favor, if you can share this to your pages so we can reach out to more nurses. Tonight in the Philippines, or today in the United States, we have special guests, and these are my friends. I'm so excited to bring them in. I would like to welcome tonight, we have Marvin and Angie. as our special guests, our U.S. nurses. Hello, guys. Hello.
Hi, good
I'm
morning,
so excited
everyone.
to have you
Morning,
in.
good morning.
Good morning,
Morning.
everybody in the United States, and good evening in the Philippines, or good day wherever you are. If you guys are joining us right now, can you guys please type into the comment section? We can actually see your comments right now. So please type into the comment section your locations and your current local time so we know where you guys are coming from. We have a lot of viewers today. I'm so excited to do this show with my friends Marvin and Angie, and we've really prepared for this show. Thank you, Marvin and Angie, for Angie's giving us a face. But thank you, Marvin and Angie, for joining me in tonight's show. And I'm currently feeling a little sleepy because I just had a very good dinner with friends here in the United States. But we have people watching from the Philippines. Charlotte, thank you for joining us tonight. We have Donna watching from Saudi. It's 5 p.m. there right now. Lori, my friend, she's in Baguio at 10 p.m. today. And Wilson is in Philippines. Janet is in Kenya. It's 4 p.m. right now. We have someone, Danj, he's joining in, from one of the groups in Lefora, where me and Marvin are actually administrators. He's in Maryland right now, and it's 9 in the morning Eastern time. I'm based in Houston, but right now I'm visiting the Philippines. So in Houston, it's 8 a.m. We have Deborah, San Antonio, 3 hours away from me in Houston. It's 8 a.m. there. We have Riza from the Philippines, Malu, Philippines. We have so many viewers tonight in the Philippines. I keep saying tonight because I'm in the Philippines right now, but it's actually today.
Good
Precious
morning.
Philippines. We have someone from Saudi. I'm sorry I couldn't see your name. Elaine is from the Windy City, Illinois. Yeah, that's one of my favorite states, by the way. My favorite city is Chicago in the States. But I mean, I like San Francisco too, Sir Marvin. So please don't get jealous.
No
It's
worries.
my second favorite. Anyway, I would like to give this time. Wow, we have a lot of viewers tonight. Thank you, guys. We have Rose from Ghana. All right, so we have people watching from Middle East, from Southeast Asia, and from the continent of Africa. And we have someone from Ireland. This is Rose. And now we have someone from Europe, and of course the United States. So we are on 5 continents right now. But I would like to take this time to ask Angie first, to introduce herself to our audience tonight. Go ahead, Angie.
Hello. Thank you, Dr. Nurse Paul, for inviting me. I'm grateful for this opportunity. So I am Angelina. I just came here last year, May. So it's not yet 1 year. So everything's still fresh. I'm still in the process of adjusting. I am grateful for the invitation because I want everyone to know the experience that I went through. Hopefully they will learn, and at the same time what they can anticipate. And I'm hoping that you're going to be excited to look forward to your new adventure here in the US. So I am currently working in Lake City, Florida. So this is my first stop, Florida, and I am working as an emergency nurse here in Lake City. So that's it.
Oh my God, I'm an ER nurse too, but I work in Texas. And Marvin, of course, is an ER nurse too.
Yeah,
Wow, we're all ER nurses. I love it. I love it. We
yeah.
have the ER nurse energy right now. Thank you, guys. And let's give the floor to Marvin to introduce himself.
Ah,
My very good
okay,
friend Marvin. Thank you for
all right.
joining me tonight.
Sure. Thank you, Dr. Paul, for inviting me for this with this sharing. So again, to everyone who's watching wherever you are in the world, good morning, good afternoon, good night. My name is Marvin Delphin. So I've been here in the U.S. for quite some time right now. So I'm working in the Bay Area as emergency room nurse. So today I'll be sharing to you my struggles, funny stories, and then the bloopers within the first 3 months when I came to the US like years ago. And by the way, to everyone, this is my today, January 14th, is my anniversary when I stepped into the US like many years ago. So January 14th is a very memorable day for me and then for the rest of the crew who still are still in Texas. So happy anniversary to us, and then yeah, and let's have this conversation and hope you guys learn from us and from our experience, and then Stay for us for about an hour, okay? So we'll be talking a lot.
There you go. Thank you, Sir Marvin. Thank you, Angie. Angie's in Florida. Marvin is in
Bay Area.
California, and I'm over here in the Philippines. Wow, this is fantastic. I'm so excited for tonight. And we have plenty of viewers. I don't know if you guys can see it, but I can see it. This is the combination of all the four pages that we're streaming in right
Oh,
now.
wow.
Thank you guys for joining. I'm really excited. This is, I guess, one of the first few USA Nurse series shows that I did that we have plenty of viewers. Can you guys please share your location in the comment section so we
Wow.
can find out where you guys are coming from? We have Lee from Trinidad and Tobago, Central
Wow.
America. Yay! We're all over the world tonight or today. I'm sorry, I keep saying tonight because I'm in the Philippines. But before we continue, I would like to thank everyone who's watching our show. Thank you for continuing to support Dr. Nurse Paul. And I'm doing this show to like help our nurses who are going to be migrating to the United States soon to give them information of what to expect in the United States. And I'm so happy that Angie and Marvin are here today to like share their story, their immigrant story, and what are the things that we need to like remember in the first 3 months in the United States. Okay, let's start our show for tonight. And so my first thing that I want to ask our guests for tonight. Tell me about your immigrant story. Let's start with Angie. Tell me about your immigrant story.
So let's start. Year 2018, December. I went to the Philippines. I took my NCLEX, and fortunately, I passed. And then I was not really excited to go straight to the US because, to be quite honest, I was comfortable working in the Middle East, specifically in Abu Dhabi, in UAE. I worked there for 10 years. I could say that I've got a comfortable life. So I delayed it. And then 2019 July, I started looking for an agency, the kind of agency that I specifically want. So I searched, I applied for different kinds of agencies. And then last May 2022, May 6th, I think, we landed here. Me and my husband and my 4-year-old son landed here in USA, land of the free. So that's my story. Yun lang.
That was
All
so short.
right, let's have Marvin talk to
Oh my
us
God.
about his
Okay.
immigrant story.
So actually, mine is a little bit long. So when I graduated, like 2005, so my target is really going to the US. So and then there was this agency who's actually like sponsoring scholarships and also work at the same time. So I know you know that agency. Hi. So 2006, I passed the NCLEX. I passed everything, CGFNS, IELTS, and everything. So all I thought everything was going smooth until we hit a roadblock, which is the retrogression. So 2006, 7, 8, 9, until 2013. So I waited for 8 years just to come here. However, during those 8 years of waiting, so I was doing some different jobs. So I was like in a review center, I was doing community service, I was like representing the country, the Philippines, and then I was a clinical instructor in three schools or universities. And then I went at by year 2011 or 2010, I went to Abu Dhabi, and that's the time I met Angie. Actually, Angie and I are co-workers. We are very good colleagues, and we turned friends and families. So by then I was like hoping, and like I felt discouraged for quite some time that like, oh, this has been taking me so long. Like I think I need to like find another area, going like either UK, Australia, or somewhere else, or Canada. So during that time, like 2012, I applied for Canada also. It's like I was thinking like this may be my opportunity to go Canada. But year 2013, when both my Canadian visa and my American visa were approved. So I need to choose which is which. So I told myself like, why choose if you can go to both countries? So I went to Canada first for about a month and tried to experience how is it to be in Canada. So there will be no regrets, because like I already wasted time and money and effort in applying for Canadian visa. And then I realized there that the weather is not really for me because it's like too cold, like it's icy. And then I actually stayed in my friend for about a month there, and then I went back to the Philippines, and then January 2014 when I stepped here in the US. So it was a very, very long time. There were like periods of retrogression, like there were my hopes were ups and downs and everything. I expected that it would be like during those times like I was hopeless, but I think God has purpose for me and I have my own timeline. So I guess I can see the reason why I need to wait. so that was my my story, my immigrant story. So I waited for so long, but it's worth it.
I think I have this similar story because
Yeah,
it took me like almost 9 years. I think it's our batch, Sir
yeah,
Marvin.
yeah,
We're not that old, but
yeah,
we're not that old. We're still young.
yeah,
Promise we are. But
young
back
at heart.
then
Yeah,
there was very bad retrogression,
yep.
right? So I had to
Mhm.
wait for like 9 years for
Eight
mine. But
years.
I
Yep.
stayed in the Philippines. I'm not as, I guess, as adventurous as my friend Marvin is all over the world all the
Yeah,
time. Are you sure you're in San Francisco right now? Because
yeah,
you might be somewhere else.
yeah.
'Cause
Maybe.
whenever I open my Facebook, I'm like, oh, Marvin is in Europe today.
Yeah,
Oh, now
yeah,
he's in Philippines. Well, I got here and you're not here anymore. But anyway,
yeah.
it's okay. But yeah, we all have different stories, and it's fun to hear that Angie only took a couple of months to get here. But back then, like
Here.
waiting for 9 years, looking back for
Yep.
me, like I felt like it was never gonna happen
Yes,
anymore. But
exactly. Mhm.
right, Marvin,
Yeah,
you're with
exactly. I
me
was
with
like hopeless during that time. I might like I want to give up.
that. Me too. I totally forgot about it until my agency called me after 8 years, and they're like, um, they're close to interviewing you. What's your plan? I was like, what's my plan? I don't
Yeah,
know. Do I still want to go to the US? I'm not sure
yeah,
about
yeah.
it.
That's true.
So
But
it's
yes. And
I would
yeah,
like to butt in because, listening to your story, I realized that now is really the best time to apply to the US because
Yes.
you went through
Yes.
a decade, maybe for some, to
Yep.
come here. But now
exactly.
it will just
Yeah.
take like months. So
Months. Yeah. Months.
Yeah.
if you're going to
Months.
take the
Honestly,
leap of faith, that was
Yep.
the best time.
Yeah.
exactly. And we keep talking about that. Like, literally, this is the best time because recently the visa bulletin just came
Mhm.
out, and it's still current for the
Yes.
Philippines, which
Yes.
means if
Yes. Yes.
they expedite your process right now, you're going
Yep.
to be here in the United States in 6 months versus
Yeah.
10 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Exactly.
please pass your NCLEX now and let's get you going here to the US. But we would like to appreciate our viewers. We have a viewer from Munchen, Germany. Wow, I was there a couple months back. Hello,
Hello
Germany.
from
Hi.
Germany.
Hi,
And we have a
Germany.
viewer from Ireland,
Hi,
Dublin,
Oh.
Ireland. Wow,
Ireland.
we're all over the world today. And we have people from Jeddah watching us today, Philippines. We have our friend Miss Anna here from TCR Customer Assistance Service. Anna Cruz, our dear friend from
Hi,
La Flora.
Anna. How are you?
She waited 8 years, abandoned twice.
Yeah.
I wish I brought Anna here too because she has a lot of
Yeah.
stories about coming here to the United States too. But that was our time back in 2016,
Yeah.
2017. We're all waiting for 10 years, right?
Mhm.
But I mean, looking back, it's still, a blessing that we
Mhm.
still chose the US path and now we're here. We're enjoying. Like
Yeah.
Marvin is all over the world, right?
That's true. That's true.
That travel goals. And
Yeah.
of course,
That's
Angie is
cool.
having a fun time in Florida right now.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, oh, we have Ruwini from Sri Lanka. Can you believe it,
Ah.
guys?
Hi, from Sri
We're all
Lanka.
over the world. How many
Hello.
countries
Yeah.
have we
That's great.
mentioned
That's
so
great.
far?
It's like Miss Universe.
I know. When is Miss Universe? They're
This
about to.
I
evening,
think
I
today.
think.
Today.
Right.
Today.
Right. It's evening gown competition. No. All right. Our next question for our special guests, Angie and Marvin. How does it feel like to be an immigrant in the US? I guess that's a very important question. Let's try Angie first. How does
Yeah.
it feel like to be a immigrant to the US?
Um, Personally, I really feel fulfilled, knowing that my dream is now a reality. I know, like, the start, the process, we went through a lot, and now that we're here, it's like a validation of what you are dreaming of, and then that this is it. That indeed there is no impossible things that might happen if You start it with a dream, you do it with an action, then everything will really fall in its place. And with the things that I'm going to share later, I must say that um, I believe that everything is God ordained. There is a purpose, there is a certain time, and I feel great knowing that I am here. And when I have thoughts, when I have doubts, I'll just look back to this journey that I went through. That really a dream can be a reality. So that's my
Right.
personal
Yeah.
feeling.
I'm having goosebumps right now listening to Angie because for real, I feel like that's what I'm thinking too. Like everything happens at the right time, right, and for a reason. So I'm really having a goosebumps right now because I believe in that. I'm really a believer of that mantra that everything happens at the right time.
Yeah, that's true.
So for those who want to leave the American dream, well, this is the best time to do it. And don't give up. There might be obstacles and challenges, but trust
True.
me, it will be worth it. But let's listen to Marvin.
Okay. So as soon as I received my US visa, at first like it doesn't sink in yet. I said like maybe there are things that might happen along the way, like medical and all that. But then like many years ago when I stepped, I think my port of entry was Michigan. Okay, Michigan. Yeah. So when I saw the American flag and it says there, "Welcome to United States of America," and then it's like it stuck with me. It's like wow, like after the 8 long years of waiting, I'm here. I'm here. I'm literally here. And then like I was like speechless. But that's the reason why I guess the what's this the customs officer or the immigration officer wasn't able to hear me clearly because like I think I was daydreaming during that time because like I said like I'm here already. It took me a long time, all the process, all the things, all the waiting, and I'm here. And then in Filipino, it's I mean I'm just like I just want to say like ang sarap parang mangarap. So and then sabi ko, and then I was telling like, yeah, like your dream is fulfilling now, like right before your very eyes. And then after the flight from Michigan, we flew to Texas, and then like I said like, wow, like this is so surreal. Like and then later on, when I'm here already, I realized that once you have that dream fulfilled, another dream will sprout, and then another dream will it will branch and will branch and will drop. And then I realized that being in the U.S., I mean, the land of opportunity, you're not only entitled to one dream. You can do a lot of dreams here, and everything is possible if you just like believe it. That's what Angie was saying. Like it's a combination of your hard work, dedication, and then right now it's here. And then you just don't stop like fulfilling your dream. Try to set another goal, try to reach another goal and fulfill it because this place will definitely help you achieve those. So right now it still feels surreal after how many years that I was an immigrant and right now as I'm a citizen. Then yeah, I mean everything happens for a reason why I waited, and then I think everything is according to God's plan right now, and I'm truly grateful.
That's very inspiring
Yeah,
and motivating. I would like to emphasize what you said about hard work and determination. That, hard work really pays off, and
yeah,
you're right about that, Marvin. I really myself, I'm still very grateful
yeah,
to be in the United States because there are so many things that coming back to the Philippines and everything feels like super nostalgic. I haven't been
yeah,
here for 5 years. I had to finish
mm,
my doctorate school, and it feels like if I had stayed here, I probably wouldn't have been able to do so many things
yeah.
that I was only able to do in only 5 years in the United States. Truly a land of opportunities,
Opportunity.
like right?
Yeah,
You
that's
guys
true.
agree with me with that? Like what I
Yeah,
said in TikTok, there's so many things that you can do: career opportunities, like
yes, a
business
lot, a
opportunities,
lot.
travel
Yeah,
opportunities.
travel
Look at
opportunities.
Marvin, like
Yeah,
literally follow Marvin and you can see the world.
yeah. If you're gonna see
Travel
my
goals.
Instagram account, like yeah, just follow where I go. And then this year I
Right.
already line up my countries to go. So just subscribe. Just
Right? And honestly, we only work 3 days here in the United
yeah,
States. We have
that's true.
4 days to, like, probably today we go to Paris and then come
Yep.
back to the States. Or maybe tomorrow we go to
Yeah.
Cabo, wherever
Yeah.
we want.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
true.
American passport gives you access to
Every
187
day.
countries visa free.
Mm-hmm. True.
Super easy travel goals. But I mean, there's so many opportunities here, and I'm really grateful myself. Like I said, Angie and Marvin and me and so many people that are viewing us right now, it wasn't easy to come here. But
Mhm.
honestly, when you already enter the US the first time and you present your documents, it's in a yellow envelope,
Yeah,
right? As
yeah,
an
proud
immigrant, and
envelope.
you
Yeah.
give it to the
Immigration.
immigration, and after that they review it and say, "Welcome to the US." It feels surreal because I'm like, I almost cried because I feel like this is my nursing dream ever since I stepped into
That's
nursing
true.
school. My mom's dream, my dream. I can't believe it's finally happening. But that's only the first step. There's so many things that happens after that. But honestly, all the opportunities that me, Marvin, and
Right.
Angie are reaping right now is all a product of hard work and a lot of dreaming and motivating ourselves. Like it's not easy, but we gotta push, fight, keep fighting for our dreams because that's what we do, right? Especially
Yes.
as immigrants, we have a lot of immigrant stories here. We know how hard it is in the countries where we came from. That's why we have so much drive, right? And
Yeah.
this is truly what they call the American
Country.
dream.
Yeah.
Wow. And let's go to the next question that I prepared for our guests tonight. Today, I'm sorry because they're
Yeah. Today.
I'm in the Philippines, guys. I'm
No,
sorry.
we totally
All right.
understand you.
Yeah, today. I'm gonna think that I'm in Texas right now. All right. How does your first 3 months look like? Let's start with Angie.
To be honest, like I don't want to sugarcoat because this is I'm gonna tell the real deal. When we first arrived here, the first 3 months, I must say, is the most challenging um, times that you're gonna be staying here in the US. Yes, you need to prepare financially, mentally, but once you're here, there are things in life that you can't control, and you just have to go with the flow. My one sentence is really the first 3 months is challenging and yet rewarding because I've been through the 3 months. It's crucial because you're adjusting to the place, to the culture, um, to the tax, how to budget your money,
Mhm.
whatever it is that you have. And then there are things that happen to us. Like I used to work in a COVID center in Abu Dhabi, but I never experienced to be COVID positive. And then when I came here, just when I was about to start at work, I tested positive. And on top of that, we couldn't find a place to stay yet because it was so difficult to find one. And at the same time, my dad was sick and he passed away. So I wanted to go back to the Philippines. So those are the things that I mean, I could tell that there will be circumstances you can't control. And then when I look back, I realized that it was really rewarding because it tested my character, it tested my faith in God, and you like I personally value the now, and I also look forward to what's gonna come ahead.
Wow.
So yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
Wow, Angie, you've gone through a lot. I mean,
Yeah.
moving here to the States is already very challenging. You're right. We're not gonna sugarcoat that. It is challenging. It made me very anxious coming into the States because I'm thinking, what if there's a last minute problem with my
Uh,
papers, right? And they
yeah.
say, why don't you go back to the Philippines or something like that. But on top of that, Angie had COVID on the first day of work. I'm so sorry, but it's okay. You've gone through the, like, I guess one of the most challenging things so far
But I'm
because
smiling now.
pandemic.
I'm really happy. It's something
Yeah,
that I will never trade. The experience that I went through for
true.
the 3 months, it's gonna make us better, and
Right,
we will be better. We'll just
right,
have
right.
to be positive perspective.
Yeah, I like to think about it. I like to think of it as just another obstacle to make you stronger,
Okay, yeah,
right? It's all about the right perspective. Because
yeah,
if you look at it negatively, then definitely you're going to focus on negative things. But every time there's a challenge in front of me, I'm like, this is going to develop my character further. This is going to make me a stronger person. And look at Angie, guys. She had COVID on the first few weeks or few days working in the US, but look at her right now, super healthy and super happy. Living the American dream.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's see what Marvin has to say about his first 3 months in the US.
Okay, first 3 months in the US, 3 words: challenging, bloopers, and a lot of realizations. So, um, having those, the first 3 months, this is what happened to us. So when we landed Texas, Tyler, Texas, how are you? So we don't know the weather during that time because like our agency informed us like, hey, that will be spring. So, but during that time, northern Texas had a snowstorm. So the only thing that we had during those times were like sweater. We don't have like jackets. So and then when the what do you call it? When our educator said like, oh, are those the only like jackets that you brought from your country? I said like, yeah, because we were informed by the agency that we only needing like light jacket or like hoodie. And then what the hospital did is that they asked the nurses there if they have spare jackets. So the next day when we get into the room, there's like a lot of like jackets there, like clothes, extra clothes, boots that was given to us. So that was actually very, very nice. And then another blooper is that when we were driving, because like I was with four other ladies and not everyone has the driving experience because like in the Philippines we don't have a car. Okay, we don't have a car. And then when I was in the Middle East, my hospital is just like one stone's throw away. It's just like one block. So literally, even though we have like was this transportation allowance, so we save that transportation allowance just to walk through the hospital because we live in the accommodation. So we don't have any experience to drive. So there were times that like there were several horns, and then we heard like people from the car say like, "Get off from the road! Like you're in the wrong track!" And then like it's so it's so embarrassing. And then also we were trying to learn the different driving techniques, the parallel parking, and everything. And um, also bloopers and realization is that when we talk to our patients, because like as much as possible we practice correct English and all that, and then they were saying like, why are you so serious? I said like, isn't it that we're supposed to say it that way? I said like, just keep it easy, dude, keep it easy. Like so those are the bloopers that we had during the first 3 months. And then it made us realize right now that those bloopers or those challenges actually build up the person we are right now. So it made us stronger, and then we became wiser. So and then when we received more Filipino nurses during that time, so we informed them like, hey, this is the way to do this. This is how you have to do this. So and then after that, it was paid forward. So it was a nice transition, especially during the for the last batch of nurses who came to Texas, that they were informed, they have this initiative already or information coming from us that these are the things that needs to be done and these are the things that you need to prepare. So they were grateful for that. So overall, it was a very nice experience, even though it's funny, but I'm so grateful.
That sounds funny, but I had my own share of funny stuff too. First 3 months, I guess, was a lot of adjustment, right?
Mhm.
Because you got to start
Mm-hmm.
open your own bank account. Like,
Yeah,
okay, start a net bank account and get your own car, right? Or
yeah,
familiarize yourself with the traffic rules. I mean, I drove in the Philippines. I drove in Manila,
yeah.
right? I drove in Manila. So I drove in EDSA and Commonwealth Avenue. Like I said, I came back here just a few days back, and I was going through the streets, and I'm like, I would never be able to drive again here in the Philippines because it's crazy. But this
And
is
it's,
where I learned driving. So when I'm in the States, my friends are like, don't do it. And I'll
yeah,
still do it. I'm like,
yeah.
don't worry. I got trained in Manila, right? But it's still
No.
different because there are four-way stops. We
Mhm.
don't
Yeah,
have that in the
yeah.
Philippines, red lights
Roundabout.
and all that.
Yeah,
And that's only one thing, right? I remember going to the gas station and I don't even know how to put a gas on my car because in
we
the
have a gas boy.
Philippines
Yeah,
there would be guys that will be doing the
Just a
gas
castle
for
and bond.
you.
Yeah.
I don't even know how to like pay in the gas pump and
Yeah.
so many other things. It was funny, but you gotta find the nearest grocery stores to you. You know, like pharmacy if you need medicines,
Mm.
like establishing your own community, finding friends. I mean, I came here single. Maybe Marvin too and Angie.
Yeah.
It's hard because you don't have family. Like, hello, you're by yourself in your room and you don't know anyone, and everybody's talking in English, and
Yeah.
you have to find your own community. If you get deployed in a very rural
Mm.
town, remote town, there might not be
Yeah.
same race that you know that you are from or same culture. So that makes it a little challenging, but it gets better.
Mhm.
Right? It eventually got better, but um, there's so many stories. I don't know if I should start saying mine, but it was funny. I got I need to find a doctor in the first 3 months because I was having a lot of reflux and I couldn't find my medicine. I need someone to prescribe the medicine because in the Philippines I can just show up in the pharmacy and say
Yeah.
this is the
Get it.
medicine that I want.
Yeah.
Here, no, you
No.
gotta have a prescription.
Yeah.
And I had to pay $200, and I'm over here calculating. Oh my god, it's
Yeah.
1,000
10,000
pesos.
pesos. Yeah.
I could
10,000
have
pesos.
sent that to my mom, and she could
Yeah.
have brought my family to a nice restaurant. But hey, don't what's this? Don't
Don't
compute. Don't,
convert.
don't
Convert.
convert
Don't
your
Don't
confuse.
convert. Don't
you're gonna
confuse.
have a heart attack. Okay, you're gonna have a heart attack. No, because in the first few months I was in the grocery. I'm like, oh my god,
Yeah.
ramen here is $3. It's 150 pesos.
50 pesos. Yeah.
This is expensive. Look, so no, don't do that because
Yeah.
you're just gonna have a lot of
I
anxiety with
agree.
the
Yeah.
cost, right? But it's America is America. You earn dollars, you pay dollars. But
$3. Yeah.
there are so many other things. We'll talk about that in another show. But here's my next question for Angie and Marvin.
Mhm.
All right. What are your top three important things to take care of to settle in the
Okay.
US?
Okay.
Yeah, let's talk to Angie first.
Angie.
So aside from bringing lots and lots of money, so for me as a married woman who brought my son and my husband, it's non-negotiable for me, and so for others it's fine if you're married and you want to delay. No, I don't have issue with that. But based on my experience, the three things that really you need to be mindful about. Number one is the house. Since you have like if you have a family, there's a certain area, like when your child or your children will go to school, they're not going to be going to a different area or location. There's a certain proximity where they will go to. So that house, because you need to make sure that it's safe. Sometimes you need to pay extra amount of money just to secure the place, and also the safety of the environment. So the house, like what I told you earlier, when I moved to Florida in my workplace, I couldn't find a house yet, so we ended up, because the house that we rented is not yet ready to for us to move in. So we rented an Airbnb. We stayed there while we got COVID. We didn't tell. So it was really a challenge. So house, and then number two is the car. So if you're married, at least one of you should know how to drive. So that it would be easier for you to get the driver's license. And as far as car is concerned, when you have the money financially, it's good that you will have a down payment so that the monthly rental will be less. There's a lot of options. It could be with a credit union. You go to the bank, or you can go straight to the dealership. When we arrived here, there was a problem with cars because there was scarcity. So those are the things that for me are essential: the house, the car, and lastly your SSN. So you can't work. You can't work. You don't have money. You can't work if you don't have an SSN. So it's like a
Social security
social security number. They will look
number.
for it. So like when you already passed the interview in the embassy, right then and there's a certain fee that you need to pay for it. It's the non-immigrant visa card. The
Right.
more you prolong, the more you will get it late. And then secondly, if you there is certain country like Abu Dhabi that will do pre-departure. So with me, I don't have issue because the agency was helping us. So like after a week or two, I got my SSN. But for my husband and for my son, I needed to apply for them in my workplace, in my location. So again, it's SSN, the car, and the house.
Yeah.
At least before you leave,
I agree with that.
idea where is your right place. If you can, my suggestion is if you know of anyone, for example, you know already where which state you're going, try to look for anyone that you know, ask them like the weather and the house that is safe. So
Location.
location,
Location.
location.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because some of them are like in very sketchy parts of town. You don't
True.
really want to be in high crime rate areas, right? Like
Yeah.
maybe you're like, oh, this is cheap. This is $500 a month, and that's like
No.
25,000 pesos. Please don't do that
And
because
No.
one more
it might
thing,
be scary.
and one more thing, Dr. Paul, because if
Yeah,
you have a big family, remember that every room, I mean every there's
Mem-
like two
every
heartbeat every room. So if you're
yeah.
gonna
There's maximum people.
yes, so like if you have a family of five, remember that how many
three
should
room.
be like two bedroom or three bedroom? Three bedroom, because every
Yeah,
room will be like two heartbeat. And if you have a pet, that one is also included too.
I
Because
didn't know that. I
yes.
don't have a family. That's why. Wow.
Mhm.
So you can bring someone without a heartbeat. That's okay.
That's what you call
That's
plants.
a little morbid. I shouldn't have said that.
You have hugot.
No,
And so it's
no, but
pricey, right?
no,
When
but
you
you're
when you
right.
when you rent when you rent an apartment and then you have a
Yeah,
big family, you can't have one bedroom because we're used to it. Like families, we can like
no,
sleep
yeah.
in one bedroom, but
Five
that's not
people sleeping in one bedroom cannot happen.
No, no.
They're very strict rental agreements here, like
yeah.
very strict rental agreements. So, yep, there's maximum people per room. Even in establishments like restaurants, there's maximum people everywhere because that's fire hazards if there's more people in one area. But I agree with Angie. Those are very important things. Social security number is like your personal identity.
Yeah.
Without the number, you cannot do
Mhm.
anything at all, like nothing. But let's hear what Marvin would say.
All right. So piggybacking Angie's statements. So I think my top three will almost be similar to Angie. So number one is your apartment and the location of your apartment. So when we moved to Texas, good thing that we were in a group. So we did some apartment hunting. So every block has a different like school district. So good thing that we were able to research which school district was the best for my friends' kids. So, and then the safety, of course, the safety of that area. So you need to consider that. I think I mean, our apartment was considered to be the holiest apartment because like we are situated in between, like we are surrounded by three churches, like the Mormons, the SDA, and then the what's that, the Baptist church. So we are in the center. So it was a kind of safe place. And also the school district during just school district during that time was one of the top notch schools. So that was actually great. And then the second one is like the car and the DMV. So with the DMV, we have to take the test and then you have to practice driving. It's not just the same as the Philippines that you just do the pen and paper thing and then you get your license. No, in the US, you have to do the written test and also you have to do the practical driving test. So what we did as a group is that since we have a big parking lot in front of our apartment, so we did some parallel parking. We practiced the entire day and I was their instructor. So because like they don't want their husbands to be the instructor because like most of the time their husbands are easily get mad. So we were practicing and then like hey we were like thinking that we were the co-hosts there and we were judging ourselves and we were very strict like hey you did this, you didn't do this, you didn't do that. So it really helped us to pass the driver's license. And then aside from the SSN, aside from everything what Angie said, those are very important. And then I think one more is the Filipino community. Good thing that we went to a church during our first week. We went to the church, so we went to a mass, and then they were saying like are you Filipino? Are you Filipino? Like, yeah. And then that started the connection. That started the network. And then like every time that there's like parties in in a Filipino household, we were invited. And then like the network goes big and big and big. And then we eventually like had this community there in Texas, the Filipino community. And then every December, like the first Saturday of December, we usually like make a big Filipino fiesta just for everyone and welcome newcomers, like Filipino new families in Texas during that time, and it was fun. So again, for me, it's always be the location of your apartment. Make sure you have to research, especially your number one priority is your safety, and then read the fine print of your apartment lease, your contract, and always have insurance, renter's insurance. And then next is your car, and then the DMV driver's license, and most importantly, the Filipino community. Because like if any emergencies, like based on my experience, we had some emergencies. The Filipino officers, the Filipino community officers, actually help us, and then it was solved efficiently, and then we are now good friends, and the Filipino community in East Texas is very strong. So I'm more than grateful for that experience.
That's very important. Like car, house
Mm.
and all that, but also important to build your own community,
Yeah,
like especially for like I know Marvin came in as a single person, no
yeah,
family, me too. So very important to have a community because it's not
Mhm.
only for them to like help connect you to the to the community resources and all that, but also in case of an
yep,
emergency, there's someone that can, jump in, check your house or check
yep.
on your welfare or check
Mhm.
on your car. Very important. That's what I did too. So I agree with Angie and Marvin. But let's appreciate our some of our commenters today. We have Dima from South Africa. Wow, thank you
Hi.
for joining us. We have everybody from all over the
All over
world
the
right
world.
now. Laika from Saudi, Lucille from General Santos, Philippines,
Hi.
Wow.
and
I'm from
as
Jensen.
Spiritus said,
I'm from Zamboanga.
hello, Zamboanga. All right. The Spirit has said nakaka-inspired ang mga testimonial nyo. In English, for those non-Filipino speaking audience, is the testimonials are very inspiring. We have Pamela from Kenya. Wow, we're all over the world. Hey, hello. And this is Kay. I know this is Kay because I'm also looking at Lefora Group and we cannot see their names here. But Kay said, good morning. She's one of our
Hi,
very
Kate.
good friends and admin in Lefora. She said, on her third month in the US, she filed a lawsuit for, to her facility in NYC. No, I know Kay's story. And in
Yep,
all fairness to Kay, she was placed in a wrong facility that was
yep,
not in her contract. So that's very wrong. Like we said in our previous shows, please read your contracts, make sure you're
Right,
protected. Because
right.
sometimes you would come here and you'll be in a different facility that was not part of your contract. So of course she had to sue the facility because that's not what she signed up for, and it was not. It was very like I think out of her specialty. So we all have specialty. Like me, Marvin, and Angie are all year nurses. Can you imagine if I came in here and they gave me a NICU job? I'd probably start crying with the babies that are crying in front of me, because that's not my specialty. So some things like that got to protect yourself too.
So
We
if
have
I
adult,
So if I
yes,
may add, Dr. Paul, it's very crucial that you get to find the best agency for you.
yeah,
You shouldn't,
very
you
important.
shouldn't
Yes.
be in a hurry to
yeah.
find the agency, whatever it is that they're promising. Hop, search, and then make a decision. Don't be in a rush. That's my experience.
Yeah, I like to think about it of it as when you want to buy something, like you want to buy an expensive thing, right? You don't just jump and buy something. You want to check the competitors.
Hmm.
You want to check the place where you're buying at. You want to make sure that you're actually getting what you're paying for. Same is true with finding an agency. You don't just jump in because this agency is promising you the moon and the stars and the whole
Correct.
Milky Way. If it's too good to be true, it might not be
That'd
true.
be true.
That's what they say.
Correct.
Shop around, ask people, ask agencies, talk to 5 or 10 recruiters,
Right.
and deduce with the best options for you. Because honestly, at this point in time, the power is not with the employers; it's with the nurses because there's
Mhm.
so much options. Everybody's going crazy for you to bring you here to the states. So leverage your power. Know what you're signing up for, and honestly, don't sign if it doesn't feel right. That's
Yeah.
what I always say.
Gut
People are
feeling.
messaging me all
Your
the
gut
time. Do you think this is a good contract? I was like, if it doesn't feel right for you, you already asked me that question, which means it doesn't feel right. Then don't sign. Maybe you need 5 more days to think about it. And they're like, oh, the agency is rushing me. Well, maybe you shouldn't sign because if they're rushing you, that sense of urgency is a bad sign for me. Because honestly, they should give you time to think about it, right? Right.
Yes.
Anyway, I talked about it in another show, but thank you guys for bringing that up. And of course, so many viewers here are saying they're from Bacolod, they're from Zamboanga. Wow, gents, and all over the Philippines. Hello, guys. And somebody said it is very helpful. Give us an idea what to expect when we arrive here in the States. And of course, guys, if you want to watch my previous shows with USA Nurse series, all the videos are in Facebook and YouTube. You can also learn a lot of things from my previous shows with my other guest speakers, lawyers, and professors that have already worked here in the United States, so you can have an idea of how it is to move here in the United States. But let's continue with. I still have a couple of questions for Marvin and Angie. Um,
Okay.
for you guys, what are your memorable experiences in your first 3 months? I guess we're kind of running out of
Mm.
time, but let's talk to Angie first about her memorable experiences in her first 3 months.
My gosh, it's really like I was blown away because I was thinking it's US, so there's gotta be good weather, like cold, maybe a little bit of snow. But I ended up in Florida, so it's like, oh,
Sunny weather.
I think I'm in the Philippines.
Yeah,
So
basically.
that's my first impression of US. It's like having a quick holiday in the Philippines because the weather when I arrived, it was really like a summer, summer vibe in the Philippines. So that, and then like what I just shared to you, um, it was really tough, like the COVID and my dad's passing. Those are the things that for me were memorable, and yet it's like it polished my character as a person, that I'm in a better place because I felt that God is with us and as a family. So um, uh, I personally get to enjoy every single experience, and work wise I realized that it's so hard to communicate in English because
Right.
we can talk with our native tongue. I mean, the accent is there, but once you get to talk to an American accent, sometimes it would take time for your brain to process what
Process.
you're
Because you're
saying.
like, what am I gonna say next, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
You run out
So
of words to say, literally.
Yeah.
correct. So I ended up deciding that I'll be a silent type. Uh,
I
so that's
like that. I
my
like that.
experience.
Yeah. Sometimes I feel like when I don't understand what they're saying because they're talking too fast, I'm like, yeah, and then I start walking away. Or sometimes I pretend that I just don't hear them. Like,
Correct.
you hear that, Christian? Because my first name is Christian.
That's
Christian
one
Paul,
thing
so they
I
call me
think. Like,
Christian.
I
Like,
think
yeah,
for
I
us,
did.
for the first 3 months, is something that I was really like shocked because for us Filipinos, we know English, we speak English, but when we communicate with them, we really have to like take time to
Yeah.
process and to
Yeah,
converse. So
true.
that, but you'll
And,
just enjoy. Um,
Yeah.
Even if you sound stupid, that's all right because as
and
long as you're learning, that's
And
good.
in the ER, we have a lot of patient interaction.
Yeah.
If you're in triage, if you're discharging patients with patient education, you're like, okay, I'm going to talk to you about your results, and this is your diagnosis, these are your medications. Back in your mind, you're like, please don't ask questions. Please don't ask
Yeah.
questions. You're like, do you still have any questions? You're like, oh, please don't ask
Yeah.
questions. Please. Like sometimes you just run out of words to
Yeah.
say. That's true. I've been here for like 6 years, and there are still times that I'm like, uh, sorry, I didn't get that. Can you say
Yeah.
that again? Because I'm like, yeah, that's funny, but that's true. That's true. How about you, Marvin?
Okay, so the first, I mean, just to tell you that I am the only Filipino in the ER during that time. So it seems that I'm having nosebleed every day because like I have to talk in English and at the same time I have to memorize or do some scripting. Like I have to memorize some of this one before I'm going to talk because I have to make sure the things that I said were grammatically correct or grammatically sound. But as soon as like I realized like, oh, I should have get that. I mean, I should like get like relax and let loose. So we were able to like catch up and learn, especially the jargons, like the regional jargon, especially in Texas. Oh my god, that was difficult initially, but as soon as like I talked to them, and then like I was like being honest, so I was able to get it. And then another memorable experience is that I had my first driving ticket violation. So actually, it's not mine. So so I was trying to help my friends to like I think we were trying to move to the new apartment. So I was at the back. I did not actually I did not use the seatbelt. So because like there's a lot of like things. So I was like holding it, and then suddenly we just heard like the siren, and then like all I thought that the violation would be the driver. So I said like, oh ate, I think you didn't stop at a certain stop. I was like, I stopped, I did. And then like when the officer said like, hey, the person at the back, can I have your ID? I said like, why me? Like, what do you think is your violation? I said like, I don't know. Can you tell us? I like, you're not
Seatbelt?
wearing a seatbelt. I said like, what? And then it was in a
I
school
knew
zone.
it.
It was in a school zone. I said like, why am I having this violation? I said like, and then it
Yeah.
was in a school zone. So, oh my God, that was an easy $400 fly away. So like, shit, it was 400. I did not contest that. That was before my license, so I have no record with that. So, so those are one of the most memorable experience that I had. And aside from that, the apartment hunting. So be very careful in the apartments. Sometimes they're very sketchy. So all you thought like this is very cheap. I mean like it's like everywhere, right? I mean like it has access to everywhere. But as soon as like you Google it, like we found out that the apartment that they're leasing was part of the crime investigation thing. So we got scared, and then there was this um, tenant, and then the landlord was at first they were it was very I mean there, if you feel something is wrong, like we found out that we were subletting an apartment. So guys, be very careful. So those are the things that the memorable experience during the past three months, and I had my first driving violation ticket, and that was memorable.
Yeah. Also, be careful with signing contracts for the rent. I
Hmm.
mean, the lease, because usually it's 1 year. Please don't sign a 1 year lease if you're not sure about the environment. I've had a lot of nurses come in here and they got problems. You just cannot exit a lease. You
Hmm.
gotta terminate it. And before I had to terminate my lease, I had to pay 4 months, and
Mm-hmm.
that's like 1,500 a month in Houston. That's Houston. That's not even
Yeah,
San
that's
Francisco. Like
yeah.
Marvin, I'm
No,
not
no,
that bougie yet, but
no, that bougie.
imagine paying 4 months. Oh my
Oh
God,
my
that's a
god,
lot of money.
that's all
Anyway,
I
this
want.
is a funny comment I want to show. Lizelle said, "When you are an extrovert and decided to become introvert in the U.S. because of the language, that's what she's gonna do in the
That's
future."
me.
That's like all of us. That's like me too. I'm like, suddenly I don't know what to say, but,
Yeah,
but yeah. But I remember, Marvin, I just want to butt into what you
yeah.
said because I had a friend that just moved into the States and here in Houston. He's my very good
Mhm.
friend. And on one of those days that I was going to take him around the city, he
Yeah.
was not wearing his seatbelts.
Oh
And
my
he
god,
thought I
yeah.
was joking when I said, they can stop us and it's not going to be about me. It's about you
Yeah.
because they can stop you because you're not wearing your seatbelts. And he's like, no, it's not true. I was like, it is because they can ticket anyone inside a car that's
Mhm.
an adult
Yeah.
and has a driver license.
Yeah.
If you're not wearing your seatbelts, like for example, I got randomly stopped, knock on the wood, for just something. Maybe it's not a violation, maybe it's just a warning. But they see you're not wearing a seatbelt because it happened to one of my friend. You also get a ticket. So
Yeah.
even if you're a passenger and you're not a driver, be careful. Please
Yeah.
wear your seatbelts. And
Yeah.
see,
Wear
this
your
is one
seatbelts.
thing that I'm really still adjusting here in the Philippines because I tried to ride a Grab the other day. It's like an
Yeah.
Uber
Yeah.
here, and the seatbelt's not working. And I
Yeah.
literally told Kuya, sir, please don't kill me, okay? Please drive very safely because I don't feel safe. My seatbelt is not working. Please don't kill me. Anyway, that's just a funny
Yeah. Yeah.
story
That's true.
coming back here in the States. But anyway, Anna here said she realized that she took IELTS 5 times, and it doesn't really matter because when you
Yeah.
come here to the States, they won't still understand
Yeah.
you. That's the truth, though. And you have to remember here in the States, there's also regional
Yep,
accents
radio
and
accents and
regional
radio sarcasm.
language. Like Southern, I'm
Southern.
Southern, so you have the Southern accent,
Yeah.
and it's different in the Bay
In
Area
the Bay
and the
Area.
East
Yeah,
Coast.
like New
So it's
Yorker.
really
Yep.
different. Like you're like, hold on, that's not what I hear in
Yeah.
Hollywood. What kind of language is that? I didn't
Yeah.
realize it's the Southern Texan accent.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's really different. But anyway, last question before we end this show. What's your final thoughts, Angie and Marvin? What can you give as words of encouragement to our viewers right now, or advice for all our nurses who wants to be a nurse in the US, to migrate in the US eventually? Let's start with Angie.
So, so I'd like to, tell everyone who's gonna come here soon. The first 3 months, really, again, is really the most crucial, the most challenging months in your stay here because, especially with me, I came from Abu Dhabi. I had a comfortable life. It was good. It was safe, and it's like an option, unlike for maybe for others who came from who never had an experience going outside the Philippines. It's like more of an excitement for them. So at some point I get to compare the good side of my previous country where I worked and what I went through for the first 3 months. And to be honest, there were moments when I would say, why did I come here? Like, why am I here? I could have stayed there in my comfort zone. I should not have to worry about paying the taxes, budgeting what I have, because you're still under an agency and there's gonna be a cut, and you cannot compare your salary to others who are working outside the agency. But truth be told, I have to, like, this is what I decided, and I want for you guys to also maybe think of when you have those moments, doubts, and when you feel like giving up. I personally decided to embrace my destiny. I look back, I I try to recall the struggles, the times that I needed to study just to pass the NCLEX and the IELTS, and then what I went through in that first 3 months. If I will think negatively and just give up and say, "Oh my gosh, life in the UAE is better than here," then I will be negative with what I am currently experiencing now and the future ahead. So for me, I have decided to embrace this place, that this is where I am and this is my destiny. Second of all, I need to realize that my pace is never going to be the same as the pace of the others. Sometimes you would think that, oh, these Filipinos, they have their own home, they have their own car. It seems that they're happy. But I have decided that, hey, I shouldn't compare. I mean, I will be happy for them that, these are all the rewards. And one day I will be able to attain. But this is my pace now. And I have to enjoy the moment, whatever it is that I am going through, and be positive and be grateful. And I thank you.
I'm sorry, my mic is muted, but that's very very wonderful. I'm I feel like I'm learning as well from Angie, honestly, because
Yeah.
she said the most important things,
Yeah.
being very grateful. And I
Yep.
always tell my students and even my friends, success is it doesn't happen at the same time for people. You can be successful at 50, you can be successful at 60, you can be successful at 20. So if my friend became successful at 20 and I became successful at 35, that's still successful for me, right? So we all have our own different journey, our own different timeline. Work on your own pace,
Yeah.
Johan. So do not compare yourself with other people. That's very important. When Angie said that, I feel like, oh my God, it's just really, you know, like saying what I have in mind. But that's wonderful, Angie. I guess we're all thinking the same thing because we've gone through the same thing. But I think Marvin has a lot of things to say as well. Let's listen to Marvin.
Sure. So, my advice to all nurses who are coming here, who are also dreaming this American dream, I have three things to share. So, as what Angie and Dr. Paul is saying, number one, trust the process. Now, we have our own timeline. So, if I waited for 8 years, if Angie only waited for 2 years, and then if one of my friends actually waited for 11 months, then that's their timeline. Okay, everything happens for a reason. Okay, so no need to rush. We're not in a rat race that like, oh, I need to fulfill this at certain time. I need to fulfill this at certain time. No, there are things beyond our control and we need to be flexible about it. We need to be resilient. So again, trust the process and never give up on your dreams. Okay. The second one is that believe in yourself and be assertive. Seek and you shall find, as what they say. Wag nang mahiya. Don't be shy. Don't be asked like, oh, in asking things because you'll never get the answer if you'll never ask. Okay. So, and also always be comfortable being uncomfortable. Like staying in your comfort zone will never make you grow. So, I learned it the hard way, but it brought me to where I am right now. So, at first, I have a lot of anxieties. I have a lot of like fears and doubts. But I step out of comfort zone, and later on in life, I realized that the world, a bit the U.S. is a big room for us to discover. There are 50 states for me to find out, and there's a lot of people for me to learn. Okay. And lastly, don't forget yourself in the process. So while achieving your dreams, you're just human too. Okay. It's okay to pause for quite some time, but never give up. Now, always remember that you're not here in the US just to work and pay the bills and build whatever. Okay? You are here to build a new life. Okay? So try to make the life that you wanted to because again, America is the land of opportunities and freedom. You have the freedom to do what you want, what you envision, and how you want it. Your own timeline, your own pace. Again, never forget yourself in the process. Try to pause for a while and then try to realize, oh, I've been through a lot. I've been through this. It's time for me to pause, have break, but never give up. Okay. Also, it's very important also to make sure that you're okay mentally, physically, and all that in achieving your dreams. Again, trust the process, believe in yourself, and be assertive, and never forget yourself in the process. That will be all. Thank you.
Oh my God. I think I want to make Angie and Marvin my support group and my life coaches because really so much to learn from
Yep.
these people. And honestly, there's hundreds, thousands of nurses with similar stories out there. If you guys are interested with sharing your stories online, let me know and I can bring you into my show. But those are really very important thing, trusting the process. There's, like I said, timeline for everything happens at the right time. Just be patient,
Yeah.
you're gonna get there. So I always tell myself, eyes on the prize, eyes
Yeah.
on the prize. The process can be rough, but focus on what you want to achieve and you're gonna get there. One day you'll be like, oh my God, I'm really living
Here. Yeah.
the dreams that I just had 5, 10 years ago,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But guys, let's all thank Marvin and Angie for
Thank you,
sharing your
everyone.
shows.
Dr.
Yes, Angie.
Paul,
Yes,
pa-shout out naman. I
yes,
want
of
to say
course, of
hello
course.
to my very supportive husband and my son Adi who are watching right now. To my SKMC family, whoever you are,
Hi.
Charlotte, Keiko, and Renz. And to
Woohoo!
my workmate in Lake City, May, Jean, and Taylor, who kung nanonood kayo, hello.
Yay!
And
How
to my
about,
special family, thank
Yeah.
you, Sir Paul.
of course, we are so glad to have you. And thank you to all Angie's friends for lending your friend today. We have one of Angie's fans that actually messaged in the comment section. His name is Lauro Tayag. I forgot to interrupt you guys earlier, but I want you guys to feel the moment. But Lauro said, Angie, she's my idol. So thank you for watching with us.
Hello, Lauro.
But Marvin, do you have anyone to greet online?
Yeah, I want to greet everyone who's actually watching right now, to all my families and friends in Zamboanga City, my SKMC family too, SKMC, wherever you are right now. Thank you so much for the beautiful experience. I was there last month. I visited them, and it was a very, very nostalgic experience. And also to everyone in Abu Dhabi, to all my friends in Qatar, to all like the FIFA volunteers, to all FIFA locums, and then everywhere that I meet and whoever is online right now who knows me, hi. good morning from San Francisco and good night from the Philippines.
Yeah, thank you so much, Marvin and
Yeah,
Angie. We are so happy to have you, and thank you. Hopefully, I can invite you again in the future
sure.
shows. And
Inshallah.
that's it, guys. We went a little over time today, but
Sorry.
that was very fun. I had a really great time talking to Angie and Marvin. Thank you guys for tuning in to Dr. Nurse Paul Show, the USA Nurse series, Living the American Dream. Next week, we're gonna have the secrets of next generation NCLEX. We're going to talk about another case study. So please tune in. This happens every Saturday, 8 a.m. Central US time. And let me announce this right now. We're going to have one lucky winner of an NCLEX package from Aspire RN. So if you guys feel inspired today from the show, from everything that Angie and Marvin talked about living the American dream, this is the best time to live your American dream, to do something about your American dream. Let me help you. I have an NCLEX program that can get you here to the US with me, Marvin, Angie, and thousands of immigrant nurses. If you guys have questions about my NCLEX review program, or if you're looking for agencies that can bring you here, I have tie-ups as well that probably could help you. Send me a message and me and my team are going to get to you, right? But please, next week, tune in. We're going to talk about next generation NCLEX from your next generation NCLEX expert, Dr. Nurse Paul. See you guys next week. Bye.
You have just watched the Dr. Nurse Paul Show. Watch us live every Saturday, 8 a.m. Central U.S. Time. For more info about our future events, follow us on our social media channels. You can find us at Dr. Nurse Paul on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. See you next week.